All right, what's up, everybody? Great to be here with you. Mark Harbert here from markharbert.com, and I'm really excited today. I've got a really cool interview that I'm going to do here for you, and I'm very excited. I recently met these guys, and I was really kind of blown away to hear a little bit of their story and see what they've been able to accomplish in the home business industry. And I really believe that you guys are going to get a lot of benefit from hearing what these guys have to say. Anytime I can, interview or talk to people who have had any level of success in home business, I'm just all over it. And my goal is to pass that information on to you and help you guys build a better, bigger business. So I am super excited today to have a really dynamic couple all the way from Australia. We have Masha and Miguel. How are you guys doing?
We are doing great.
It's so exciting to be here, Mark. Thank you for having us.
Of course, absolutely. So I want to introduce you guys, but tell your story. You guys have been around the industry. Talk about that a little bit and some of the things that you guys have been able to accomplish, just so these guys have an idea of where you guys have come from.
It's so exciting, Mark. Like, seriously, we're very excited to connect with you and to everyone in your audience as well. We've been in network marketing for 9.5 years. We're from Europe originally. Miguel's Spanish. I'm from Slovenia. And we came to Australia about almost 11 years ago now. It's 10.5 years ago. And that story in itself is very exciting. And you just asked us how we met. And you know what? I was moving to Australia after I had finished my PhD. I'm a research scientist. And I was coming here for a year to do a year of work at the university and work as a scientist. And on the plane, as I'm moving to Australia, I met Miguel. And that's how we first met. And 9 months later, Miguel moved to Australia to be here with me. He was very, very persistent and, just gave it everything and gave up everything. He's a commercial pilot. He was living in Dubai at that time.
He knew what he wanted and he went for it.
Yes. When you see a blue eyes, you just go for it.
There you go, man. There you go.
And and then, just a few months after we came to Australia, both of us, we had great jobs, great education. We followed all that old paradigm. But we started to understand it really didn't work. I mean, we were time poor. We didn't have a lot of money. We couldn't buy our first house. We're like, what is with this? We both went to school for so long. And now where's the opportunities? Yeah. And luckily, a 17-year-old girl approached us, a 17-year-old. So, for anyone out there who thinks they're too young, too old, not the right sex or whatever you're thinking that is not right with you to prospect and succeed, that's not right. A 17-year-old talked to us. She introduced us to our first company. And that's kind of how we started.
Yeah, we thought that we didn't know anything about multi-level marketing. We were 29 at that time. Now I'm turning 40 this year, so anyway, that's another story. But we didn't know anything about network marketing, and the thing that kind of shocked us and kind of put us in a kind of as we say, when you're spinning and somebody when you're spinning, you just move so much from the place that you were that you find yourself in a different place, thinking, hang on, so I can make money by telling people about something that I'm using and that I like. And I can make 10 grand amount, 20 grand amount, 30, 40, 50. There's no ceiling. Hang on, I need to get into this right away. So that's how we started.
So despite all the great education, we understood that we got to do something with our lives. We wanted to do something with our lives. We needed to do something different. So we went after network marketing, and it wasn't, of course, overnight success. In our first company, it was a very old traditional company that gave us great education, but didn't give us a lot of success. We did become diamonds. We were one of the youngest diamonds here in Australia in about 18 months. But, our income was just enough to survive on. So at that point, we felt like we had wanted more. And what we did, and this is kind of a lesson for everyone that's listening, is we looked for a mentor. I mean, how important is it to find someone that has results that you're seeking? So we found a mentor, and eventually decided that this mentor was actually launching a brand new network marketing company. We decided to bring it to Australia. I mean, literally, we had so little experience, Mark. We had 2 years experience in network marketing. We put up our hand, yeah, we could do this. And of course, it was a much bigger task than that we thought. So anyway, that was now 7 years and something ago, and we're still with that company. And You know, our income has gone from $0 to $9,000 a week in 9 months, the first 9 months. That's and awesome. Now it's kind of gone $32,000 a week. And, you know, this is not to just to really, you know, say how good we are. It's to say, if you persist and if you're consistent and if you learn some things and if you continue to look for mentors, you're going to do it over a long period of time and you are going to create some freedom.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. You know, I got to tell you, like, that's one of the things that I'm always kind of preaching, and I'm sure you guys will agree that it is just persistence. You know, it is, you know, I think a lot of times what I've seen, and you guys could probably see this because you've worked with so many people, is, you know, people come in and we kind of live in a society that's, I want things now. You know, I need it now. How fast am I going to make money? I need to make it by the end of the week. And when you actually find out that it's going to take some work and persistence to actually reach the goal, it's kind of a whole new reality strikes and you're like, oh, you know. But I think what really will help people to understand is even with your story, it's persistence and it's so worth it, is it not? I mean, would you guys say that now it's like, it's totally worth the struggle and the tears and the, you know?
Definitely. I mean, every day, almost every day, because, you know, you have good days and bad days. And I guess when it's a good day, you are very grateful. When it's not a good day, then you kind of wander around. But we wake up in the morning, Mark, and we kind of look at each other and say, you know what, we are so lucky. Every time we go and see friends, they still have a job and they complain about their job, we look at each other and we say, man, I'm so glad I did, because we were in that place. And it's nothing wrong with having a job. And you know, I want everybody to understand that it's okay to have a job, but if you want something else in life, first of all, nobody's going to give you a pat in the back and say, hey, go ahead, you know, you can do this. Nobody's going to do that. And the second thing is, you need to take responsibility for your own life. And if you want something different, obviously you're going to do something that is nobody else, I guess, is doing. So when you have a bad day, you know, there is, you know, you know this, that when you're not having bad days, when you know that that day is going to make a difference, it's going to set you up apart, aside from the 97% of the population that goes to work for 40 years and then relies on the pension. So I think from when the time that we started, we were so, I would say, sick and tired, you know. Our chair, I always put this, we always say this to our teams, you know, when they come and say, oh, but, you know, I don't know, my team is not growing so fast and I don't find prospects or I don't do this. We just say to them, okay, look, this is as simple as it gets. You are sitting on a chair. When you have a chair and it's comfortable, you have a job and it's kind of paying you okay and you have a nice life and you're okay on that chair, you're not going to move, right?
Right.
Now, when that chair starts getting hot, you may kind of move around a little bit. So you may prospect some people, right, and do some things. But it's kind of okay. So when you're tired, you go back and, you know, you still sit it on that chair. Now, when the seat and the chair is burning, you can't sit. You just get up and go and do stuff. So life is like that. When you're sick and tired of where you are and what you're doing, man, you do whatever it takes. You know, it's such a drive, you know, when you want to change your life that, you know, nothing else matters. So, and I think for us, we were at that point when we came to Australia after traveling for, you know, literally all the side of the world, coming here, we were kind of, you know what, we can't settle for a job, you know, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and then what? When we need to travel to Europe, we don't have money, or we need to go, nothing wrong again, okay, nothing wrong.
Right.
Go in economy, and maybe only one of us, and then the other one cannot go, and you know what I'm saying? So we saw our life like that, and we thought, no, we have to do something about it.
Yeah, totally. And, you know, Mark, the thing is, it's not an overnight success. I really want to say to people, you know, what you're doing right now, whatever you're applying yourself to, you know, you're building your home-based business, whatever you're doing, you know, congratulations to you. We were not an overnight success, but we did persist. And it's so important what Miguel is saying, you know, you just have to keep at it. You have to keep trying yourself, you know, you have to keep failing, and you're kind of failing forward. And, you know, when I think, I mean, you know, we had created some success in network marketing, and then at some point we're earning even a 6-figure income. This is maybe 5-6 years ago in our current company. We kind of had a really good story because we had, in our first company, learned a lot of things. And you know what? We found ourselves investing a lot of our money back into the business, traveling on planes. We even rented out our house because we just wanted to travel and build a business. And at some point we found ourselves, really tired and burnt out, and we were actually building our business. So this was kind of going into a second transition, which I want people really to understand. So the first one is, okay, you're sick and tired of your job. You find online business, you find network marketing, you find home-based business. That's congratulations, keep at it. But I want them to be prepared now that you might still get into struggles. And we certainly did. We got into major debt, despite earning a 6-figure income, and really being burnt out. And so we were really looking for a way to run our business to suit our lifestyle, Mark. And this is really key. So, we had to find ways that we could implement in our business that would give that business, that push, that momentum, so that we could free up and the business would run without us. I mean, everyone's dream, right? And that's kind of the second transition, when you're really going from that 6-figure income, perhaps going into a 7-figure income or high multiple 6 figures. If you're smart and if you keep applying yourself and listening to mentors, such as yourself, I hope everyone is really listening to what you're doing, because the things that we see from you, Mark, everywhere in social media, on your blog, they're outstanding. We really mean it. And so keep applying everything that you're hearing from your mentors, because you need a way to have the financial success, but you also want to have the time freedom. If you don't have time freedom, you're not there yet. You have entered the home-based business for the freedom. I want to remind everyone that, because and I want to remind everyone that it's possible, that it is possible, and it does happen, and believe in it. Anyway, that's kind of our two evolutions. We had to go through, we had some success, but then we had to really understand where we want to be. And so that's kind of our 9-year story in this home-based business.
Yeah, it really is. Like, I know what you're saying, too, Miguel, where you really feel like, you get to a point where it's like you want more, and you're not, you're just, something ain't right. You're not happy. And that was kind of the way it happened for me too. I was just at a point where it was like, corporate America sucks. I don't want to do it. I don't like working 60 hours a week. I don't like having to ask for vacation. I don't like them to tell me how long I can take a vacation, and if you're okay with that. And I love what you said too. It's not that having a job is wrong. If you want to have a job, absolutely go for it. We need people that want to work jobs, but in the end, it's like, if you really want more, you got to go after it. And it's not going to be easy, because it's not necessarily that the business itself is hard, but really the personal growth that you have to go through. And I'm sure you guys can talk, a little bit about personal growth and what that plays, in the whole overall factor. Because I've never met a leader that is not into personal growth. I've never met one. If you guys know of one, please let me know. But I just don't think I've ever met one. No,
obviously, it's funny, because when you first start, and I guess it's any home-based business or any kind of business coming from a employee mentality, the first thing you think is, oh, I want to make so much money. But what you never think is, what is the person that is, say, when you look up to someone, I don't know, let's say huge man of success like Richard Branson, for example, right? Yeah. You think about how much, how many billions of dollars he makes a year, but most of the people don't think about the mindset that person has, the way they approach things, the way they look at, the challenges and how they started, because they had to see things in a different way. And it's exactly that, that personal growth is such an important part of your business life, that without that, you can have the growth in your business. But at the same time, this is like a warning that I would say right now, that we've seen a lot also, Mark, and probably you're the same. People also sometimes get lost in that personal growth. They think that, if I sit here and I think very nicely and I think positive, I will attract the thing that will happen. So, and I think that's
did I know you like 5 years ago? Because that's exactly what I was doing. It's kind of funny.
So, and we went through that too. I think it goes in phases in your life. You discover personal development, you've never heard of it, and it's like, oh, hang on, the mindset is a very important thing. So, but it's not the only thing. But at that time, you go, okay, well, if I sit here and attract, I will attract something, right? And then after a while, it's like, hang on, nothing is happening.
Right.
You have to take the action too, right? So when you couple both things, eventually things start to happen.
Exactly. And you know what, Mark? We keep investing in ourselves and our personal growth. Apart from having mentors that teach us strategies, that teach us how to do stuff. We really believe in that. But we also keep working on ourselves. Like this year, we each invested $5,000 to go for a week in a very high-level personal development immersion retreat. It was very, very, it was very intense. It was very, very, it was one of the hardest things I have ever done. But on the other side, I think we both did it separately, by the way. We went, and, it's kind of a week you do, and you work on yourself. And it's one of the hardest things that I had ever done. After all these years, and after all, applying things and transforming and putting us into many situations where we've evolved, this one so took us to the next level. And, because a lot of the times it's your emotional blockages. A lot of the times it's things that, from our family of origin. It's things that we had gone through in our childhood. Of course, obviously, life is not perfect. And I want to just say to anyone who's not had a perfect childhood, which I assume everyone out there,
right.
Just understand, those things leave consequences, and being better equipped with techniques and strategies that you can tackle yourself and apply yourself and really pull out, the greatest thing out of yourself, which is, being able to give value to people, being able to give back to, to the community, being able to give love back. I think I'm going a little bit hippie here, but I just want everyone to understand how important it is, that emotional journey, because those are the reasons that we don't go higher. If you're stuck on a plateau for a long time, it's because you've been stuck on an emotional plateau for a while. So, that's just kind of an aside story, but you're so right.
No, it's all about that. It's really like when I first got started in network marketing back in 2000, I was the shyest guy. I was nervous. I was very nervous around people, and here I am, 15 years later, and I'm kind of known for like the video marketer guy, and I'm just not shy anymore. I don't care. My life is like an open book. I don't hide anything. I'm like pretty open. But the only reason that happened is because over those 15 years, it's like, last year alone, I looked at my, when I did my taxes for the year and went through all my expenses, I spent over 20 grand last year on coaching, products, information, personal development. That's like the biggest part of my budget. And I always focus on that. And that starts with training courses. It starts with education. It's like an ongoing thing. And a lot of times people think, well, what is the one book? What is the one thing that's going to, open up the door for me? I'm like, they're all of them. It's like you never stop doing that, So I want to shift real quick. And you guys have done some amazing stuff. And one of the things that I know we've talked about a little bit about is about gaining momentum, and I think momentum is like the hardest thing to start getting, but it's also even harder to keep it going in some ways. Because a lot of times I think it's hard to get it going, at least in my mind, and maybe you guys can enlighten me a little bit, because until you hit and I go back to the mental thing, and how important it is to really keep, get yourself to a point where you can actually get some momentum going, and but keeping it going and just being consistent, because I'll tell you what, the consistency has been crucial in my success. And that's been a big part of it. So why don't we talk a little bit about that? Because you guys have really mastered that.
Have we mastered that?
Yeah.
Well, we've done a lot of work. That's for sure. And I think I always try to think how to put it in a very simple words. By the way, we didn't say anything. We are like completely opposite to each other. I don't know if you already kind of saw. first of all, she's a very well-educated woman. You know, she went to Oxford. She got a PhD in molecular genetics. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Myself, I was just, you know, I was a soccer guy. I used to play soccer, and I'm very pragmatic. I'm very, very, very simple guy. You know, I became a pilot because that was the best thing I could do. That it didn't require for me to keep, you know, that I could do with my hands and, you know, travel around. So I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah. But I wasn't really a good student ever. But I had to do it. So in terms of the momentum, Mark, the things that we had to go through, or basically momentum for people to understand is like when something, like in YouTube, for example, when a video goes viral, right? That first of all, that person does the video, then they put it on in YouTube, then they put it in Facebook, they start putting links here and there, and eventually they've done so much work on that somebody sees that, somebody else, you know, refers that video to someone else, and eventually it grows so much that even if that person never checks that Facebook or does anything to that video goes crazy, right? So momentum is something like that. And in business for us, it's a very simple, we found out after many years of trial and error, working really hard, like Masha was saying, that there is a very specific way that you can create that momentum, and you do the work, and basically your income basically grows, right? And it doesn't, your business never grows, and you know this very well, that it never grows steadily, right? In a let's say 2% or 5% per year over 5 years, right? Your business always is gonna grow, is like you have peaks and then plateaus a little bit and then peaks again and plateaus. And it's very essential that on those peaks are the times that you compress the time, you do very hard work, and then your business grows. And then after that, you kind of, you know, if you're in network marketing, obviously you train people, you get them ready for the next sort of big blast of quantum momentum or activity. So then your business picks up. So
maybe we can share a bit what people have to do. You know, I think if you're in online marketing or network marketing, I think the first thing you have to do, we kind of like we drive business on 30-day cycles, and you know, anyone could do this, even if you're a coach or a speaker or anyone like this. And we first tell people, you know, the important thing is to mobilize the masses. That's kind of the first thing you want to do. So if you're in network marketing, you got to go recruit and duplicate it into kind of into depth, you know. So that takes, like you were saying, speaking to a lot of people for anything you're doing, or you know, promoting a product in an affiliate launch and talking to lots of people. But if you do that for a little while, you have to drive it to a point where it's all going to come together. And obviously in network marketing, that's a live event. Not just that, I even think even if you're an affiliate marketer or an internet marketer, today live events will give you that ignition. So, you know, once you bring all these people that you've been teaching or that are on your list or that are in your team, you bring them together into a live event because you've mobilized them, and you can kind of ignite them. You can put a spark to them in a very specific way. And coming out of that event, we teach in our team for about 7 days. You know, you really have some concentrated effort, and you can get into a quantum leap. That means in a very short amount of time, you're going to get a huge result. And yeah, you were saying, you know, you can do that one time. That's obviously not the end game. What you want to do is after 30 days, repeat it and then repeat it and do several of those cycles. You know, I think when we started to discover this kind of process, we would maybe have done 18 months or even 20 months in a row, the same thing with our teams. And our income went from, you know, $9,000 a week to $32,000 a week kind of thing. It was pretty drastic, you know, over time, it grows a lot. So that's kind of what we teach, you know, it's about mobilizing people, igniting them, and then concentrated effort.
Because at the end of the day, and this is the best thing about creating that momentum that we were talking about, is the first time you do that 30-day cycle probably is yourself and a few other people. If you're starting in network marketing or even in any other home-based business, right? It's just you and a bunch of people, right? And then your business grows. You have that quantum leap. Then the next time you do the quantum, the recruiting, or you do the burst of activity, is going to be you, this bunch of people, and another bunch of people. So the way that you have that quantum leap is such an amazing how do you say, result. It's such an amazing spike of energy and results that you get hooked to it. Like, it's amazing how people get so excited.
Like, who needs drugs? Just build some momentum.
You know? Exactly. And that's the best thing, because once you have created that, it's like the viral video, right? Because then people know what they can get when they concentrate that energy and they get that burst of activity, that they get hooked to that, right? And you don't even need to tell them to do that anymore, because they go and do it. And it's when yourself can start going from, maybe, I don't know, obviously we're not gonna tell people that you don't do any work and you're gonna make, you know, a lot of money and
no
have success. Obviously, you're gonna work your butt off, like everybody does, you know. But the thing is, when you work your butt off and you do it the right way, like we're saying, your hours may go from 12 hours, like in our case, 12 hours, 14 hours, 16-hour day, to now 4 to 5 hours a week. And the income, instead of going down, is going up.
Yeah.
So, you know, that is, and that's what I'm saying. I was saying before, I wake up in the morning and I'm saying to myself, man, I'm so glad I did. You know, I'm so happy. First of all, because of the lifestyle we have, but also because when we think about over all these years, the amount of people that are also doing the same, that didn't have the opportunity to do that, you know, it's
priceless.
It's priceless. It really is. It really is.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome. And it's interesting, Masha, where you mentioned live events. Man, this is one thing I'm hammering all the time. And I always tell people, if you want to be a top earner, you've got to do what top earners do. And all top earners go to live events. And they are so crucial. And I actually, you guys, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I just moved back to the United States. I was living in Chile for 4 years. And I just moved back here last year. I'm in Tampa, Florida now. And one of the main reasons when I was down in Chile is when I really started, my business really started growing. And I was only able to come back like twice a year for events, you know, and number one, it was incredibly expensive to fly, but it was one way was, you know, at least 20, 22 hours of flying time. And it was just brutal. You know, I mean, I'd have to fly for a full day, then sleep for a whole day just to get, you know, my body like acclimated. And then I'd go to the event and then I would fly home. Then I need at least a day to, you know, recover. And it was just like, man, this is like crazy. And I want to go to more live events. So when we were talking about moving back to the States, I was like, that's one of my main reasons. I want to go to more. And so literally since we've been here, I think I've probably been to maybe 10 or 12 major events over the last year and a half, because I know how important it is to my business. And literally for me personally, over the last 6 months, my business has exploded. I mean, it's been ridiculous, you know, to watch my business do what it's done. But it's a matter of getting around those types of people. So I'm totally, you know, gelling with you here on what you're saying, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, anyone in home-based business, you know, going from internet marketing gurus. I mean, does Marie Forleo have a live event? Does Eben Pagan have live events? I mean, does Brendan Bouchard have live events? Does Ray Higdon have live events? You know, everyone, we all have live events. Why? In network marketing, does every company in the US and the rest of the world have live events? So, you know, I just want everyone to think, you know, yes, it's great to work at home, and we are pajama bosses. We love working in our pajamas. But to really ignite it, like you're saying, your business has exploded, I think it's the key.
And to literally, like, I don't know if that is very professional to do this, but we are really like pajama bosses. Like, I'm not kidding.
I love it.
That's I mean, it's 7 a.m. for us here.
Yeah.
I mean, we are at home, so we do. I mean, we are professional. Don't guys, don't get us wrong. You know, we do work hard, and we are very professional in what we do. But imagine this: imagine you can actually have the income you want, the lifestyle you want, and you have the freedom. I don't need to wear a uniform anymore. You know, why would I have to dress up if I don't feel like it? You know, I would do it out of respect, obviously, but and I think I kind of did today a little bit. But at the end of the day, you need to be comfortable with who you are, and if you feel like working like this and you have the option to do that, you just go do it. And that is the thing, is when you have success and you've been working really hard in the right way, when you get to that point, then you can choose what you do, whenever you do it, and how you do it. Exactly like what you were saying, right? When your business is growing up, you can have choices that you didn't have before.
Here's the reality of it. Like, I don't shave half the time. I'm like, I work at home. I don't care. I'll make a video with, not shaving in a week. And I'm like, my wife would be like, well, don't you want to shave? I'm like, no, honey, this is home business. I get to do what I want, do it my way, And that's one of the things that I think is so cool about working from home is that, it's that ability and that freedom. And I think if you can, paint the picture for people, because I remember there was days when, long time ago, when I could not get that mental picture of where I am right now. It might have been, it was probably that way for you guys too, I'm assuming,
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And getting that mental picture to really, go forward. And once you grab onto it and you really want it, and you just, I think that's for me what happened, because it took me a long time to really get some success, but I was just so like, I could not get that freedom, picture out of my head. It was like, I could not get rid of it. It was like a virus, I could not get rid of it. And it was like, it just kept moving me forward until eventually things happened. But, I definitely, I want to keep talking real quick, maybe spend another few minutes here about the momentum thing, because I really think that, what you guys share on that is really key. And I know you guys have put together like a video series talking about that. Why don't you tell us just about the video series and what it's, what it'll help people to understand a little bit?
Yeah, so, through our struggles and traveling to 5 continents to build our network marketing business, literally, this is an aside for people, but I will say some things about the training series. But we've been from Nigeria to Mexico to Taiwan. We lived in 7 months in Bangkok, 4 months in San Diego. We go to China every 6 weeks. We have businesses in countries we didn't even know they exist. So That's what marketing has done for us, being able to travel. And then also after that, being able to reduce the time. And honestly, to support the existing business we have, it takes 5 hours a week. Now, when we're doing recruiting for new teams in a new country, that's aside. Obviously, we do extra hours. But just to support existing teams, because we now have that momentum, that leadership, that activity there, that's what it's done for us.
Yeah.
So what we thought about is like, there's so many network marketers, online marketers, home-based business owners, coaches, trainers, you name it, home-based business. And, people do get it. They get it. They need to be in this industry, but it's very hard to get to the stage of where you can have the financial success, yet you enjoy some time freedom. So, how can we put together some training? How can we share from our experience? So that's what we did. We call it the quantum momentum formula. So we shared this 30-day process, and we have a series of videos that will come out over the next week or so. And I know that Mark will put a link below this video so you can watch it. And that's what it is. It's just sharing from our experience. Hey, this is the struggle we went through. This is how we started. And then sharing exactly what you do in those 30 days. And just keep cycling it then, over and over and over again. Because I think that's really the key. We go into network marketing or home-based business because we're looking for freedom. It's not just about control over being our own boss.
Yeah.
So I want to make that distinction, because a lot of home-based business owners, they have a home-based business, but it's an expensive hobby. Yeah. We have met so many network marketers that get into debt despite very high 6-figure earnings. So we want to get into really, let's be clear. Let's be honest. It's about freedom. It's about having the money, but also having a life.
Yeah.
So that's
absolutely.
That's kind of our motivation. We just want to give back. And honestly, we're so glad our network marketing business pays us extremely well, because we now have the time to give back to the industry.
So, and what?
Love that.
Going back to the question about the training series, Mark. What they're gonna have in those videos are obviously who we are. So if they don't know us yet, probably they will get to know a little bit more about our story. So we're not strangers to them. But what they will also learn is how to use that formula, that quantum momentum formula that we were talking about, a bit more in detail. And I know that probably you have a lot of people here always thinking, yeah, I know, but how can I create that momentum if I don't have people to talk to, right? So what we share with them, what we will share with them is also just one Facebook strategy that we have used now, how long ago? Like
for the last 6 months or
so.
Very,
6 months. Yeah. That has really helped us to recruit some people in countries that we don't even speak the language,
wow.
like for example. And out of those people, there is a couple in particular that you say, okay, well, maybe you didn't sponsor that many people, but when you think about there was contacts from Facebook, and out of those contacts, we recruited only 4 of them. And out of those 4, there is one couple that in the last 6 months, they've gone from 0 to have more than 1,000 people and earning $6,000 in a week. I think that's pretty awesome. It's awesome for them, obviously, but it's awesome for
that's amazing.
us, you know? So because you're using a formula that is easy, that is simple, that you still need to do it, obviously, and work. But
they were great students. These guys, were great students, but we didn't know them. They don't speak English, and you know what? We're going to share exactly in those videos how did we help this couple and many other strategies. I mean, this is obviously just the start. You have to meet someone to help them. But it's so important, you got to just get going. Wherever you are in your business, whoever is listening right now, you just have to start. And also, by the way, we're going to give away an Apple Watch in the training videos. Right. So you have to
nice. Nice. I still got to get one of those, man. I've been looking at them like, oh, man, I got to get one. So very cool.
That's awesome. Yes. So anyway, sorry, Mark, you were saying.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, to sponsor somebody and they don't even speak the language. I mean, my gosh, So what languages do you guys speak anyway? I know, Miguel, you probably speak Spanish.
Well, I think I don't speak much English, but my Spanish is getting worse. But yeah, I speak Spanish, English, and we have in Spain another language called Catalan that I have to learn. So I would say probably, if I had to put myself up and show off, I would say 3.
That's awesome. Well, I lived in Chile for 4 years, and my Spanish is absolutely atrocious. So
probably will be better than mine. We always speak English at home. So.
Right.
So, but here the lady probably she can tell you a few.
I grew up in a country where there's only 2 million people in the world that speak my language. So it's a very small country in the center of Europe. So we were forced, as being really young, to learn a lot of languages, and we were like that. We're surrounded by so many languages. So. Yeah, I grew up speaking 6 languages, and that's been a real asset. We love traveling.
What do you call that? It's not like bilingual. It's 6 languages.
She speaks better Spanish than I do. Sometimes she corrects me.
All right. Well, that's it too. My wife, my wife's from Chile, so she.
I assume that. That's awesome.
And she's an English teacher, so she. I mean, it's when I lived in Chile, I actually started working at an English school just to get out of the house, like 2 days a week. And I went there and I was teaching English, and I realized I'm not doing these guys any favors. Like I can speak, but I don't know, half of it. And my wife's, she knows every little participle thing. And I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but my wife, she knows English better than me. So it's pretty, I feel you, Miguel. I'm right here, man. You and me.
We're going to go to Chile one day soon together. Wow, that'd be awesome.
Yes. Yeah. That's very cool. Well, guys, it has been an absolute pleasure to chat with you guys. And definitely for anybody watching this, definitely check out the video series. It's been really exciting to hear about what you guys are doing, because I personally have never really seen people teach on momentum and how to get it. In my mind, I've always thought, oh, it's like the hardest thing to gain. But honestly, after talking to you guys, I'm like, wow, seems pretty simple. So I thank you guys for that. And people definitely want to check out the videos and see what you guys are doing. So appreciate it.
Well, I want to really thank you, Mark. Yes. And I just want to say, we've only recently kind of connected and chatted, but Miguel and I have secretly spotted you and been inspired by you and admired you from a long time. And I just want to say, everyone who's watching, you're so lucky to be learning from Mark. So stick with him, make sure you learn from him, and, you know, ask for help from him. Whatever he's doing, make sure you're doing it.
Yes.
So you're very lucky to have a leader
yes.
in the industry who's teaching so many great things. Make sure you stick with him.
And I almost kind of interrupt the boss here, but what I wanted to add to that, Mark, is for everyone that is listening, I think the most important thing, at least for us, is when you find people that are genuine, that are authentic, and they really care about people. And I think you guys are very lucky that are watching this, because you have in front of you right now somebody that no, he doesn't tell you what you should do, but he doesn't. He actually does it and then tells you how to do it. So that is authentic, and he's genuinely interested in helping people. That's why he's doing so well. So I guess you are learning from one of the best that you can learn, and you watch him because, you know, if somebody else hasn't heard from him, it's not long that they're gonna hear right now, because as he was saying, the reason his business is booming and your business booming, Mark, is because you're doing the right things. You care about people. You are genuinely, you're a positive person, happy, and man, I want to be around you. So
yeah, we want to see you.
I know you guys are like 7:38 in the morning, and I'm like 6 in the evening. So. Isn't technology cool? I mean, this is why I love doing what I do, because I mean, you know, here it is. I have a coaching client that actually lives in Afghanistan. You know,
wow. Oh
so
my God.
who would know? I mean, I think it's easier to build a business worldwide now today than ever before. So, I mean, check this out. You know, we're new friends here. You know, we're talking halfway across the world, so you gotta love it.
That's right. So, but thank you so much, Mark. We're really excited and really humbled to be able to kind of have a chat with you and really, you know, get to know also your audience at the end of the day, or the audience get to know us a little bit. So thank you so much. We're really, really excited and happy to.
No, awesome. Great to have you guys out, and I'm sure we'll do some more stuff like this for sure.
Definitely.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you so much. Definitely click the link below, check out their video series, and enjoy it. And, you know, reach out to them, say hi, and find out what they're doing, because I'm really excited about it. So, all right, guys, have a great one, and we'll see you in the next video blog post, and we'll have some fun. Bye-bye.